Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a really long time since I have uploaded a video, and I'm really sorry for that, but real life just kind of got really busy for me, so yeah, that's why I haven't been around very much, but I have been going live. So I hope that you've been able to sit in on one of the live streams and that you've enjoyed that. It's just a little something for me to put up for you guys while I have breaks in uploaded videos, just something to do in between. So today I wanted to make a video and talk about something that I actually get asked a lot, and I've been trying to brainstorm this, and it's really kind of a complex question and answer and can be done in so many ways, but I figured I would just go ahead and share my experience, and then maybe you can just take bits and pieces from what I did and make it work for you. So today's video, I am going to talk about how to create a store in Second Life / how to become a creator in Second Life. So I don't think that there's really a right way of doing this. I can tell you 100% from personal experience that when I first started AlterEgo, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Sometimes I feel like I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just am not afraid to try ideas that I have. And if they don't work out, well, then I either put it on the back burner, try again later, or if it was just a complete bomb, I don't ever do it again. I've had this conversation numerous times on my live stream, and people always ask me like, what do I feel as what type of products would sell good in Second Life? Do you have to be original content? Can you still survive with texturing templates? And I always tell people it really depends on what you want out of the game. If you're like I burped. If you're shooting for I did it again, excuse me. If you're shooting for Second Life to become a career, something you want to make serious money out of, I'm talking like if you're trying to hit like over 1 million lindens a month or something like that, I would suggest that you probably be producing original content. I'm not sure at this point in Second Life how much would be the average that you could be making just by texturing templates. I kind of am starting to get the feeling that version of Second Life is quickly expiring as new creators enter the grid. And when new creators are entering the grid, I'm noticing there's just a lot more original content creators these days. So you're automatically in competition with people that are creating more advanced things. So, in my opinion, if you're trying to make a living off of Second Life, if Second Life is going to be putting food on your table, I would honestly, at this point, I would advise you to either find you somebody who can commission original mesh content for you, or you better get on YouTube and start learning this stuff. However, if you're just wanting to create a store and you're wanting to just do it for fun and you just want to see what comes of it, and it's not like a life or death situation, then I would totally recommend you maybe just starting off with texturing pre-made templates, because I mean, we all pretty much started somewhere. Even a lot of these original content stores that you see now, they were texturing templates at one time or another in their Second Life career, and then they just gradually moved up. And you can totally do the same thing as well. So let's just take the scenario that you want Second Life just to be a hobby. So you want to create a store and you just want to have fun with it. If it sells something, awesome. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. you're not losing your real life house or your car over it. You know, it's no damage, no loss taken. So this would be my guideline for just creating a store for the fun of it. And if you're one of the people that you're like, well, I kind of want to take it more seriously, I really would like for it to be turned into a real life career or whatever, you can still use this as a guideline and implement the pieces that I'm going to tell you. And I just really hope, I guess, that you have a product that people want to buy. Yeah, so that you'd be successful and able to accomplish that goal, because it's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. When I first started AlterEgo, I did not take it very seriously. I did not think it was ever going to become anything popular. I never thought in a million years that you would tell me, oh, 8 years from now your store's still going to be around. It would have been reached any type of the success that it did. I probably wouldn't have believed you. I just kind of went out on a limb, and all my friends were begging me, please create a store, please create a store. I honestly didn't think it was going to work. But since it did, I will just go ahead and tell you my story. So, first of all, if you would like to create a store, the very first thing that you need to figure out is a name. And I would highly suggest that you pick something that's personal to you, or, obviously something that you like, something that you don't mind writing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Honestly, also, please, whenever you're creating a store, say you come up with a name. Say you want the name of your store to be Chloe. Chloe is such a cute name, and it would be a really cute name for a store, but I would suggest what you need to do. Oh my goodness, thank God that was not a bad picture. I really do suggest that you search in Second Life search to make sure there's not already a store named Chloe, because you don't want the drama, okay? The name's cute, and maybe you can spell it different, or maybe you can, I don't know, maybe you're doing a completely different product than something you would already find here. Like, as for instance, looks like there is already a store named Chloe. Okay, so you look at it. I would take a look at their Flickr, their marketplace. Definitely check to make sure if they're even a current brand. And if you wanted to even take that a step further, maybe I am the person, and just be like, hey, I was thinking about naming my store Chloe. I noticed you have a store named Chloe. My daughter's name is Chloe in real life. I really like this. Is it going to be a problem? I'm selling furniture. You're selling shoes. Are you going to freak out? Just out of respect for the other creator, maybe that's something you might want to think about also. But I wouldn't just blindly create a store name, especially if it's something that you really fall in love with, and just use it without checking to see if it already exists. For AlterEgo, it just so happened that the name was already taken, but it was by a store called AlterEgo Tattoos. And at the time of me creating my store, it really looked like that store had gone out of business. They didn't have an inworld location. The only thing they had available was Marketplace. It appeared at the time of me creating my store that their tattoos were old. Like real old, like more like 2000, 8-ish type style artwork. It didn't look like anything that was current with the tattoo stores that I was shopping at. So, I am the creator, like I just suggested you might want to do, because it really appeared to me like that store was no longer in business, and I wasn't doing tattoos specifically. At the beginning, I was just doing clothing. Okay, so, and actually to this day, 8 years later, I've never had a problem with AlterEgo tattoos. And if you go on Marketplace and you type in AlterEgo, there are other stores named AlterEgo that I didn't personally go and attack for using the name. Like, I don't care. But I have seen it time and time again where new stores come up and they take the names of popular stores. I don't know if they're doing that to try to catch views or if they think that that'll make them show up in search or something like that. I just really don't recommend it. If you want to come out of the gate as a strong brand, try not to take a name that's already taken. Even if you spell it differently, I mean, or if you're really hell bent on it and you're totally in love with the name and you know somebody already has it, talk to them first and just make sure that you're not stepping on anybody's toes. So, you figured out a name. We're going to roll with Chloe. Okay, name of your store is Chloe. So then you have to figure out what type of products that you want to sell. And that is all a personal opinion. The only thing that I can say, and people might actually shoot me down for this, but to be honest with you, you're going to want to create things that people are going to want to buy. So you're going to want to stay like probably pretty mainstream. But then again, it's a video game, so if whatever you're deciding to create, you can always kind of go very left and right field with it. But I would always keep kind of like a mainstream influence inside your work also, because I've seen it happen over and over. Really, really, really creative stores, but they're way too like out there. Like, I don't know. And for me, it just doesn't sell. It's not a product that sells. You're not targeting, or maybe your audience that you're targeting is not very big. So while I feel like you should be able to create anything you want, at the same time, just keep in mind that you probably should try to target a market that's big. So, you can make, your potential to make sales is larger, is the only reason why I would suggest that. So pick a market that you want to cater to, and it's not necessarily set in stone either. When I first started AlterEgo, I was clothes for women, and then I moved off into shoes, and then I did makeup, and then I did men's clothes, and then I did accessories, and then I did tattoos, and then you know what I'm saying? So, but all that stuff, I kept it kind of mainstream, even though my love for artwork was urban, very grunge, alternative, like street style clothes. That's the kind of style that I liked. But at the same time, there was not really that huge of a market for it at the beginning. That stuff didn't really start to roll out till like probably a year into my store. But I still tried to keep the stuff pretty mainstream. I made stuff that I liked to wear, and it just so happened that other people enjoyed wearing that style also. So you can definitely be a trendsetter in whatever bracket that you choose. But you got to kind of think about it. Try to fit common sense into it. Think about it as if you were going into business in real life. You want a product that the people want to buy. So let me get a drink here. I'm not going to get too ranty on that, but so say for instance, we want to be. We're gonna make let's see, decor, home decor. That's what Chloe, the store Chloe, is going to be. So the next step after you figured out what your product is, what the name of your store is gonna be, I would say the next step is decide if you want. My cats back there are all jumping around. decide whether you want to have an in-world store or a marketplace, or if you want to have both. Let's take, for example, you want both. So whenever you create an account, for this video's sake, we're going to say that you created a new account, a brand new account just for the store. Say the name of it's going to be Chloe Store Resident. So there are some things you have to accomplish prior to creating a store on the marketplace. But you don't have these stipulations when you're first creating the account. I could literally create an account right now, and once I bring that account in world, I can go rent land somewhere right away. So that's not a problem. You could literally start an account, rent land, and build your store within, like, the first couple of hours of you even rezzed. So that's not a problem. Kind of does throw you off whenever you're thinking about doing marketplace. A couple of things that they require is that the avatar has to be, I think it's God, I don't know. I'm gonna check just to make sure. Who can I check this on? I think the account has to be 5 days old. I might be mistaking. It might be 3, but let me check. I think it's 5. Let me load somebody in and then try to create a marketplace and see what it says. I believe it's 5. Create a store. Okay. So this is a really old account, so it's not telling me because she's over a year old, but I can tell you she does not have a store right now, but in order to create a store, she's going to have payment method on file. So you would have to link up a credit card or, a PayPal. Your payment method needs to be used as a transaction. So say for instance you use PayPal, then you would have to go on the marketplace. Once you've set that up on the website, you go to the marketplace and you buy something with the PayPal. And then you have to agree to the Second Life marketplace fee and listing policy. You just put a check there, and then the continue button will highlight and you're able to move on and create a store. I do believe it is 5 days that the avatar has to be of age before they're going to allow you to create a marketplace store. This also goes for if you're creating your own mesh and you want to upload your own mesh items. They do have the same kind of stipulations that they require for you to have payment info on file. Your avatar has to be a certain age, and then you have to agree to the terms and conditions. So for that kind of stuff, you do have to wait a few days to even get set up. Now, if you're using an account, say you're using your main, and you've been on Second Life for 2 years, you're not going to run into all these problems other than maybe setting up payment information if you haven't done so already with loading lindens or whatever. So that's just a heads up on that stuff. Okay, so say for instance, okay, so we have to wait a couple days with the Chloe store to do the marketplace and to do the original mesh upload. But you still want to be able to maybe go and get some land in world to set up your store. So basically all you would have to do is open up the search, and then you could type in things like commercial land rental. Or if you know somebody already that you can rent land from that allows commercial, then you probably should go get that taken care of. But this is what I usually do. Well, used to do. For the past couple of years, I've just made friends, and they've made little spots and stuff on their regions for my store to come and pop a squat. So I haven't actually had to do this right here in a while, but I can tell you that a version of AlterEgo was with Kindlewood Estates at one time. I rented a quarter of a homestead and put my store on the ground level. It was like a beachy theme. So this is a good place. I can definitely vouch for them. It's a good place to rent from. But as you can see, you can kind of, oh, luxury also. I've rented from them also. But you can tell that you've got like a fuck ton of places that you can go look at. So basically, you just kind of have to watch out for the amount of prims. You're going to have to decide how many prims you would want for your store. And then you just have to look at how much they're charging per prim or how much they're going to charge you for the lot. I can tell you right now that my store downstairs is 1,000 prims, and I think I pay like 1.5 lindens per prim. So that's not a bad deal. That's actually, that might be approximately what most people are charging, because a lot of Sims got grandfathered not that long ago. So people's bills on their Sims have actually come down. So I would assume that the pricing for renting them out probably came down as well. So maybe try to look for something in that realm. See if you can get that kind of pricing. But also, don't be a sucker. Don't let somebody charge you like something crazy, like 5 lindens a prim or something like that. There has to be some huge bonuses going in with that. I can probably definitely say for commercial, they might charge a little bit more than like the 1.5 lindens per prim, because it's commercial. You're going to be making money off of that land, so I think sometimes those prices might be a little bit higher. But that's just something that you need to look out for. I think for a starter store, especially from you starting at the very beginning, a store that has 500 to 1,000 prims is probably pretty good. It gives you a chance to grow into it, and it's not too much, and it's not too small. That would make it to where if you got a little parcel, you could put a building down and you could decorate it, and then also have all of your stuff inside of it. So I would say 500 to 1,000 prims, you're probably good to go. That's a small store. So once you have all of that stuff down, say you went off and you got a little plot that's 1,000 prims, and you're paying like, I don't know, like mine, 1.5 lindens per prim. And you've got your lot, and they've switched it over, and they've given you all the rights. And to me, this next part is the fun part. You get to build your store. Like, you can go on the marketplace, you can find pre-made commercial buildings, you can purchase them. I'm going to slide the marketplace over. But you could totally just, it's very easy. You could type in commercial prefab on the marketplace and press enter, and it's going to bring up a list of all the pre-made buildings that are for sale that you could buy. So, you just, this is, to me, this is the fun part. This is like, oh, how am I going to make my store? How do I want to make it look? And then, I've heard though sometimes this is people's least favorite part. So I guess it just, it's a learning process also. If you're not familiar with doing this kind of stuff, I would definitely suggest that if you find something on Marketplace, TP to the company InWorld and go look at live demos of the building, so you can kind of see how big they are, because just by telling from a picture, sometimes it's really hard to see actually how much land they're going to be taking up. So yeah, if you know how to measure your land out, I'm not going to explain that here because I'm actually not very good at it. I eyeball a lot of stuff. But if you actually know the size of your land, you can also, sometimes if the creator of the building is knowledgeable in the footprint sizes. Not all are. I'm one of them. I always just put, this will fit in a 4096 lot, but could not ever figure out, like 50 by 65. I don't know. I can't math for shit. So when you go and look at your building, you can kind of read through what comes with it, but always look for maybe the footprint size. So if you know the size of your lot, you'll know if this building will fit, or if it'll be too big and you have to find something else. So, but for a lot that's allowing 1,000 prims, I'm thinking it is going to be like a 4,096, maybe a little bit bigger. So you're going to be wanting to look for a relatively small store. Let's see, I'm just kind of gonna guess here what might fit on that. I have this one, and it's a pretty small store. I mean, it's very well done because it's by Blueberry, but all this stuff could actually be modded and taken out, and you could just put up walls. But that whole process with modding a store, a pre-made store, that is another video. I'm not going to go into that right now, but just check these things also when you're looking for pre-made buildings. Make sure they're modified. Take into account how many prims that they're taking up. It doesn't really matter whether they're 100% mesh or not. I mean, unless that's just a preference that you're going for. I still see some really nice buildings that are partial mesh, meaning some of it's prims and some of it's mesh. So it all really just depends on what you're going for. So then, once you have figured out what building that you would like to use in Second Life, you would purchase it, and then you would go and drop it on your land. You can position it however you want, and then you can start decorating it for your store. So, next thing, I'm going to keep it. We're going to keep this flowing because I don't want to have to stop in between and edit things out. So, okay, we've created store name. We have decided what we want to sell. We have gotten land. We are in the process of aging in Second Life so we can do our marketplace and our mesh upload status. We have our building drop down and we're decorating it. So let me tell you some things that are just kind of like, oh my gosh, there's no manual to being a creator in Second Life. There's not. But I can maybe advise you of things to at least think about. Let's see. I'm going to make a list of things that I had to remind myself to get. Now, AlterEgo is my baby store. It's the store that I've cared the most about, and is the most long-standing store that I've had. But I've also had other stores, several other stores. So this is just a list. I'm going to try to make a list of things that I try to remember to have a copy of when I'm creating a new store. So you might be asking if you're a little bit more advanced in Second Life, or you have creator friends or something like that. Should you get a vendor system or not? I would say if you are first starting out, you've never created a store in Second Life, I'd probably wait to get the vendor system. At least until you have say for instance, until you have 50 products and you are selling things. I would say at 50 products, then start thinking about vendor system. And make sure that you're making a profit, because I don't really see why a brand new store right out the gate, I mean, unless you're really just trying to have all your ducks in a row, but even if this is just a test store, I don't know, I just kind of feel like that decision can wait. I waited Actually, I didn't even know about vendor systems. When I first started AlterEgo, I didn't even know that vendor system existed. Side note, no, I did, because Casper was really the only one, but I didn't know as a creator really how that thing worked. I did remember seeing cool features back in the day, like maybe redelivery. There was definitely gift cards back then, but as me being a brand new creator, I didn't know how to tie any of that kind of stuff into AlterEgo. So when I first started, I was open like a year before I even got my vendor system, and yeah, and I was fine, for that year not having one. It did kind of suck though, especially if I did some kind of an event or something like that. People would always ask me for gift cards, or like different charities and stuff like that would always ask for gift cards, and I'm like, no, I don't have those yet. So, I mean, if you start rolling with your business and it looks like an option that would be beneficial for your store, then I would definitely recommend getting a vendor system. But if you're doing it like this scenario where this fake store, Chloe store, is going to be a hobby store, we don't even know if it's going to work or not. You're brand new, you just want to have fun, I would probably just hold off a little bit on a vendor system. If it becomes more serious, you're making a lot of lindens, you can afford the vendor system, you can see benefits to having one for your customers, then at that time I would say, yeah, balls to the wall, go get one. But I think just starting out, not really knowing if it's going to work, I wouldn't worry about it. So, I guess from here, let's just make a list of things that you might want to have. This is going to sound so stupid, but you need to find somebody that has these ASCII note cards. You just do. Especially if you're a girl, you're going to need this stuff. Sometimes guys that make stores, they're like, fuck that garbage. But these note cards will help you make your note cards pretty. Let me show you what they are if you're like, what are these? And I could actually pass you these if you don't have a copy of these. But they're the little symbols, HTML type symbols, all this kind of stuff where you can make, pretty designs and stuff on your note cards. I used to be really into this stuff, and I kind of miss it. But if you've ever worked at a club in Second Life, or any kind of venue or whatever, I'm pretty sure you have seen these being spammed in local. But I would suggest probably getting your hands on a couple of these cards. You can also type that kind of stuff in Google and then find a list of the cards. Every time I start a new store, I pass my store alt the ASCII cards, and I've also heard it pronounced ASCII, but I don't know, so I always just spell out the letters whenever I'm talking about it. Something else I would suggest getting your hands on is a group joiner script. Also, any of this stuff that I'm talking about, if it's transferable and you're starting a store, I am me, and I'll just throw this stuff to you full permission, because somebody at some point gave it to me or made it for me full permission, and so I don't mind giving you a copy of this stuff. And this shit ain't secrets. It's just things that you need to be able to operate a store that maybe you didn't think about. Maybe you don't know about this kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to give you pointers. Know what I mean? So you're going to need to get a group joiner script, because if you have a store, I highly suggest you having a group. Let me show you while we're talking about this how to make a new group. So you would click on your people tab down here. Brings up this menu, you go to groups. As you can see, I'm in several groups. To create a new group, you would click on the plus, and then you would go here to new group, and then this menu pops up. So this is pretty simple too. You would just type in Chloe store or whatever you want. You can also do, as you can see, like, you know, pay attention to what other people do. Like they put the little ASCII type some of them, not all of them, will work. Like the smiley faces and stuff won't work. But as far as like just your regular like exclamation point, dollar sign, all that crap, all that stuff will work inside this area. And just remember, whatever you name your group, you're stuck with that. You can't rename it to anything else. So make sure when you're naming your group, it is something that you like. Make sure that you spell it right, because once you press create group at the bottom, you ain't going back, and it charges you. It charges you 100 lindens to create the group. So just double, triple check that whatever you enter right here is something that you want to roll with. So you can go ahead and set up the description here if you want to. You can click, maybe? Yeah. You can click on this icon, and if you have a logo already made, you can put this here, or both of this section right here, you can wait until after you press create group. You don't have to fill this in right now, but if you have it, you want to, you can. You need to choose whether anyone can join, if there is a fee to join, and then you click your maturity rating, and then you can create group. I'm just going to show you. As you can see, creating this group will cost 100 lindens. Groups need to be more than one member or they're going to be deleted forever. Please invite members within 48 hours. So, pretty self-explanatory. Invite, create group, 100 lindens, find a couple of your friends, add them to the group, and it won't be deleted. So, usually I just add a couple of my alts, but you know, if you have friends, I'm pretty sure they'll join your group, just so it doesn't get deleted. So this is where that group joiner script would come from. I mean, not come from, but this is what it would control. You would want a group joiner script in a prim inside your store to accept people who want to join your update group. Here is my update group for AlterEgo. So as you can see, I put the logo in there. I went ahead and put all the information that I want people to know about my store in the description window. And inside this joiner script, I'll just open this up real quick, make this pretty simple. The only thing you would have to edit in here is this part where it says, this part right here. That's the part that you're going to click copy URI, I believe. And so you would just paste this. Yeah, just like that. You just, highlight this, and then you would, this copies to your clipboard. You paste it here, and then you press save. So whenever that finishes, you'll see the green box there. And then you can take this script and drop it into any full prim. And when people click it, they will have a link in local here where it'll ask them to click and join your group, and then they can do so, and then they are your stalkers forever. Well, until they decide that they don't want to be in your group anymore. If you want to be super fancy, you're going to need an opener script. It just depends. This part really depends on how you want to do your products. If you are going to be, say for instance, you are selling your products out of a prim, then you wouldn't need an opener script. But I use an opener script for demos. Here, let's pop down to my store. I'm going to turn voice off so I don't look like a complete fucking fool downstairs, so my lips won't be moving. But let's go down to my place, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. And there's also, this isn't the end-all be-all way to do this, it's just how I do this. So I'm just going to use me as an example. Let's go somewhere where I'm not naked. All these, I'm naked. Okay, so for instance, like these baggies right here. Now, this is just a very basic vendor setup. And I can probably walk around to some of the other stores here in the mall and show you a vendor system type setup. And they're simple also, but it is a little bit different than how this is set up. Okay, I've been talking for 39 minutes. Cool. All right. So I've created this mesh vendor myself, and I brought it in World to make my vendors out of. So basically, I do this very simple: res it up on the wall, put my picture in place, and then it has a little shelf here for my demo. But this is just basic setup. I just threw my product into the contents, and then I set the frame for sale. So as you can see, it's 100 lindens. So when you just click it, you'll be able to see all of the products that are inside the contents, and then you just buy the product for 100 lindens. And I'm going to crash. What is going on? Why is this happening? Sorry. So yeah, I'll just purchase it for 100 lindens, and you can come back here to recent, and that's how it falls inside my inventory. So you get my landmark, you get my ad, and then you get the contents. Now, where the opener script comes in is I have an opener script actually inside my demo. And the reason why I have this, and this is just me personally being very weird, I'm a weird person, but I used to have this stuff out for 0 lindens. There was a time in my career where I kept really, really close accounting books on my store, where I knew every single month how many demos were being purchased. I would even cross-check how many people demoed an item, how many of those people actually went back and bought the item. I used to keep track of, which items sold more, etc., etc. And I did that with the help of my vendor system, but also just secondlife.com, looking at the transaction history. So after a while, I really just kind of got tired of seeing a bunch of 0 linden transactions, or I even charged 1 linden at one time for demos, because there's copybotting crap going on. So, I just wanted that to kind of stand out, to be a different number than actually the sale or a 0 linden demo price. I'm not going to go into it. It was drama. I caused myself a lot of headaches. But, so whenever I started this version of the store, I just wanted no 0 linden transactions. The only time a 0 linden transaction should happen for me is if I'm giving something away for free on the desk. But other than that, I didn't want to see any other 0 linden transactions. So this time, all my demos just have the opener script. And all this does is if somebody wants to demo these pants, they would just click this, and you would see it pops up here, and it gives them the demo, everything that's inside the contents. The script itself is set to no transfer, so you don't actually get the script whenever it opens. But that wasn't actually a transaction. They're just clicking to open something. Same script that you would use if you did a HUD on your screen to click and open the product. It's the same script. I'm just using it in a different way for the store. So I would say that script is it's very useful. So I would make sure you have a copy of that as well. You could use it for your demos. You can use it for your unpacker. I'll just type in demos. It's very useful. If you don't want to collect a transaction, even if it's 0 lindens, then you can do it that way. Okay. On to the next one. Let's see what other script is helpful that I use a lot. Well, I do use this one a lot, but I don't really use it for as far as as far as being a creator. I mean, other than just resizing it, I really think that this is a good script to resize things with, and it might be actually something as a creator you might want to get a copy of, a resizer script. You could use a resizer script for your products, or you can use it for your vendors if you're too lazy to or if you're not good at scaling things just yet, you're still learning how to scale, a resizer script would be perfect. So I would probably recommend getting a resizer script. You can use that for a bunch of different things. You're definitely probably going to want to stop it script. And this is just a scrub script. They call them scrub scripts also. Scrub scripts. And this is just say for instance, say I put some type of script inside this vendor or something, an object, and it's broken, and you want it to stop doing whatever action it's doing because it's malfunctioning, but you've taken the script out and the object still is malfunctioning, you would want to get a scrub script to put inside the vendor to completely clear out whatever action is overriding the object. That's actually comes in really helpful too. And lastly, I don't really know where I got this from. Oh, I do. My homie. This right here is, I can't give this one out full perm. No, I can't give this one out full perm because I had it made for me. But I can, I'll leave in the description box below who I use for scripts, which that was him, Mattia Delwood. He takes, he used to, I would check with his profile, but he used to take in custom orders for scripts. So whatever kind of script that you can think of that you might need for your store, he is a really good person to go to. Extremely nice. And super smart, and I'll leave his information below. But you're also going to want some kind of a group giver script. That would be for let me turn myself around, a group gift giver script. That's what that is. While they have a lot of those on the marketplace, you can probably get it for free or very cheap. I can't remember why I had him make this one. It does things. I think I can long click on these. Yeah, and there's a counter. So it tells me how many times it's been given away. And I think that's what I ordered whenever I got this script made. But I'm sure there's things like that you can find on the marketplace. A group gift script giver, whatever. Let me think. As far as scripts that would be good to have as a creator, I don't really use these anymore. Sit on animate. I use this one a lot just to if I create a prim, and this is, I mean, I could totally use a post stand, but sometimes I'm just, if you sit on this thing and then you go to your position, you know what I'm saying? It will animate you when you stand on it, so you can still click this and you can move yourself around or whatever you need to. I use that a lot actually over using post stand scripts, or even just using this by itself. So maybe you might want to look into something like that. I'm not going to write it down because it's not really a have-to thing. Oh, you definitely need this. You need a well, actually, to be quite honest with you, the landmark giver, note card giver falls into this. This could be a note card landmark giver also. Anything that you would click on the wall or click an object and it gives you the contents. So you could put anything in there if you need to put images or I don't know, whatever. You're going to give a gift away that way. So you could put anything inside of a box that you want to give away for your customers for free and not make it a transaction. The only other thing I can think is maybe hover text script, but I'll tell you what, every single event that you go to, nobody wants hover text scripts anymore because you can see them through the wall. They're really annoying, but might not hurt for you to just have one just in case. But I think that that's basically it. I mean, these are the main scripts that I use right now creating in Second Life, and I would say the most important ones is the opener script, the group joiner script, and a group gift script. Those are the most important ones that you're going to want to have. So let's also take a look here real quick at the type of things that I have available for my customers. So this is something also you might want to think about when you're designing your store, is what kind of information do you want to have out for people to obtain. So I have a sign up here that has links to my marketplace, both of my most popular marketplaces, which is for AlterEgo and Inertia. So again, I just created this prim up here. I'll zoom in for you so you can see how I designed that. Just made it regular out of my logo in Photoshop. This is a transparent prim where I put that lovely opener script that I was talking about, and then a note card. And in there is just links to my marketplace. So if people want to know about that, they just click and it gives them a folder. That's important. This here is my group joiner. So as you can see, my group join script is in there. This is something else that you have to remember, especially if you hit me up and you get this specific group joiner script. This prim has to be set to the group that you're trying to accept people to. If it's to any other group, it won't work. So that's that. What else do I have out? These are all gifts, actually. Some of them are gifts that require you to be in my group, and some of them are zero Linden transaction gifts where you just actually click and it's zero Linden and you buy it. I have my little I went and I bought some little like computers and stuff and then modded them to put my Photoshop, and when I used to do Maya. I've switched to Blender now, but I put screenshots of me working in Maya and making some of the lettering and stuff that I do, just kind of try to make it personal. And, I have things that are personal to me resed on the table. This is Dick Butt. Don't be offended. It's just a joke. That kind of stuff. And then, any type of signage that I want people to read so they're not bothering me all the time. That kind of stuff. This also, too, is just an info tablet or whatever. People can click it and get information about my Instagram or my YouTube or whatever I'm doing. I also have the signs up here for any of the events that I'm in. That's something that the event will require if you start joining events, is that you have to put their signs up at your store. And when you res the signs, your guests will be able to click on it and join their group. So it's a trade-off. So that's the kind of stuff that I have at my store. Let's take a field trip. Let's just go somewhere. And we can kind of take a look at what other people have. And this is the kind of stuff, too, that I would suggest you doing. If you're creating a store, TP around to your favorite stores and see what they have on their desk. And kind of follow the guideline. Like, I don't copy their shit to a T, but, just take note to what is resed around. And then you'll start to notice when you go to... We're going to Half Deer because I want to shop. You'll start to notice when you go inside other stores that this is pretty much the uniform way that everybody kind of does it, give or take. So we'll let this place load, and then we'll go look at her desk. I love this store. I love this store. This girl is my spirit animal. She's my spirit human. Ugh, I I do own almost everything in here. I was gonna say I could purchase everything in here, but I already have. Okay, so her stuff is loading. So her store is on a vendor system because you can purchase her gift cards. So I can click on her vendors and show you how that's set up, but each vendor system is different. Take note of that. So not exactly sure which one she uses. I mean, I could find out probably right now. She's E2V, which is the same one that I had to at one time. I feel like if my store gets back to being a decent size and starts doing a shit ton of transactions again, I would probably implement my vendor system again. But right now, with it being so small, I just don't really want to deal with the vendor system, to be quite honest with you. A lot of people ask why I don't use it anymore. I'm just not really that big of... it's not producing mass transactions anymore. It's producing an amount that I can keep up with on the SL.com site. I just really, right now, I have no reason to use the vendor system. So I'm just taking a little break from it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gone forever. So if you take note to her desk, it's very simple. She's got her redeem gift card, check your credit balance. That just means that if you shop in here and you're probably a part of her group, it'll give you a percentage in store credit that you can rack up and come spend later, buy stuff for free, but you can check your balance there. She's got all of her awards of badassery up here. She has a tip jar, her little animals, she has more awards, and that's pretty basic. I mean, that's pretty much it. Oh, up here she has like her, the wish list thing comes from E2V. That's a little something extra that you can be involved with. And then she has all of the events that she's a part of raised up there. But take note, whenever you come in, she's got redeliveries, store credit, use your gift card. She's got her marketplace, her subscribe-o-matic. All this, oh my god, these are so cute. Aren't they adorable? Oh, I wish. One day, I wish to be her, like an ounce as good as she is at mesh. Everything is so cute. But these are like the products and stuff. Oh my god, these are adorable. I'm gonna have to go to Collabor 88. But this is all like, our new releases. That's something too that you probably want to keep in mind when you're designing your store. Make sure you have a spot for your desk. All the customer type things. Oh, I just saw something weird on my butt. Doesn't that look weird on my butt? Like, it's just the way the rainbow comes together, but I really thought like something was wrong with these pants for a second. It almost looked like I pooped myself right there. Anyway, so just take note to the kind of things that are on her desk, like what's on my desk, kind of the same kind of shit. Just customer service type stuff without actually being a customer service person there. But then you always want to have a section for like your events or your new releases if you're not doing any events. So make sure you make room for that. What is this on this side? Shit I have to have. Oh my god. She makes me, like, when I come in here, I want to immediately jump back in Blender and be like, you're not working hard enough. Like, it's totally inspiring to be here. So I'm just going to peruse. This section of her store is gotchas. I would suggest probably doing the same type of thing. Make sure your store is organized. Nothing is worse than having a disorganized store where you just throw shit everywhere. I personally, as a shopper, I hate that. So you do have to do some kind of degree of planning when it goes to how you're going to decorate your store or how you're going to set it up. I would probably make sections for different types of things. So if you took Half Deer as an example, there she's got a section for her gotchas. And then I think there's like sections. She kind of grouped up her furniture in sections. Her animals are in sections. Random decor is in like a certain section. You know what I'm saying? So kind of keep it, to where people understand when they're going through your store somewhat. So they understand somewhat what they're looking at. Something else that I feel like is a good idea is that you see right here on the wall, she's got things that you can read. That's a good idea. So, and it's not going to take questions being asked to you repeatedly away, but at least you tried to tell people how to do whatever you want to try to project. This stuff is everywhere, and I bet you anything she gets questions about vendors or random vendors or gotchas or something like that. Even with that posted, see how she's posted it everywhere? That means she gets she gets asked a lot about that shit. So yeah, like any kind of verbiage or signs or something like that, I always feel that that's good to try to help your customers along in their shopping. Whatever helps people through your store. And at this point, I'm shopping for myself. That's what we're doing. I'm not working hard enough. I'm not. Oh my god, is this a bed? Oh my. I hate this store so much. So anyway, as you are shopping now that you're becoming a creator in Second Life, you will start to pay attention to things that you as a shopper probably did not pay attention to, and that's absolutely okay. I would just always strongly advise, if you go to people's store that you love, you can be inspired from their work, but do not copy the shit verbatim. Don't do it. Especially if you totally respect the artist and you truly love what they do. There's nothing wrong with being inspired by something, how they have it set up or whatever they're doing, but if you're going to try to recreate it or use bits and pieces in your own work, just make for damn sure you're not copying them to a T. It's just disrespectful, number one. It's not flattering, number two. Not sure why you would want to make yourself a carbon copy of somebody else. And you'll get your head bit off for it when they find out. I'll tell you that much. So I would just be yourself. Don't, oh my god. Be yourself. Don't try to be anybody else. Oh, look, it's people. There's actually people on Second Life. I don't see people anymore. Oh my god, she's made this bigger. Oh, goes to cry in a corner. Yeah. So hopefully that at least gives you guidelines to how to become a creator in Second Life. Things that you need to think about. There is a lot of pre-planning. I don't suggest creating an account today and going to try to do all this in one day. That is not feasible. It takes planning. It takes notes. Make note cards of things that you would like to do, and just have fun with it. For fuck's sake, have fun with it. I love creating new stores. I have several. They're not in world anymore. The only one I have in world right now is AlterEgo, but I have 5 or 6 other ones on the marketplace. But AlterEgo has always been my baby and the one that I spent the most time on. I have mood changes, and I create to whatever my mood change is. So anyways, I'm gonna shut up now and let you guys go about your biz, but I hope at least that gives you a guideline to, if you're starting a new store, these are some of the things that you need to think about, figure out, make decisions on, and if I can make another video to kind of go more in depth on more decision making and stuff like that, I definitely will. But Definitely, if you have any questions, I'm sorry I'm hiccuping. If you have any questions and you're thinking about starting a store but you're not sure how to do something, leave them in the comments below. I reply to every single comment with answers to the best of my ability. Of course, everything that I told you in this video is just my experience. These are the things that I did. This is not the end-all be-all. Million different ways to accomplish doing this, and there's just one piece of advice that I want to leave you guys with. If you're wanting to create a store in Second Life, don't be afraid to take risks. If you come up with an idea, definitely keep the idea to yourself and do it, because you will never be able to know if the idea will work unless you try it out. Don't wait for somebody else to sideswipe the idea. If you come up with something, you be the one to do it first. Maybe you will do something that will set a trend, and it will be highly successful for you. So, and I'm talking in terms of anything. If it's a product that you have an idea for, if it's an event that you have an idea for, if it's the way you sell something, the way you set your store up, the way you have a process. I love toxic waste. Fucking lovely. The one reason why I hate naming myself that, I am not toxic waste, and that's not my tag for FYI. Yeah, whatever you do, if you're going to become a creator, you balls to the wallet. Whatever you come up with as an original idea yourself or something that you've concocted, do not be scared to do it. Just do it. Just Nike it. Don't think, don't second guess yourself, don't do any of that negative stuff. Put it together, put it into works, do it and have fun. That's like the whole point of Second Life. You can do anything in this game. So don't let anyone else tell you you can't. You can, you just can't be a puss about it. Just do it. Okay? If you like my channel, please subscribe. I will try to be better at posting videos. I love you guys' faces, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!